works. Then they threaten Taiwan with an invasion, and they go, we'll beat your ass and destroy your country if you don't join us, so it'd just be better to do it peacefully. That's the three moves that they make. So the Secretary of State saying this, like this is something that he's just discovering or might kind of be the possibility, is absolutely crazy to me, because everybody knows this. This is literally written in the Army Techniques Procedures of how China goes about trying to fight a war without directly fighting one. But moving us on out of that, we've also been able to hear as well that China has stated today, and this is one that I do have to say is quite interesting, that they will keep buying Iranian oil. And while they won't sell them any weapons, at least publicly, they won't stop buying their oil. That was the line.
That's kind of a weird thing. It's like, what's really the difference? If China keeps buying Iranian oil, then that means they're funding the Iranian war regime because they're funding their economy, and the entire government inside of Iran is literally built to wage war against their enemies to a large degree. So, I mean, technically, even if you assume China's telling the truth, which I don't believe it for a second, because the U.S. intel report just came out yesterday saying that China's trying to find sneaky ways to sell weapons through third-party countries to the Iranian regime. So, already we're on shaky ground, but assuming that China's telling the truth on that, which they're not, but assuming that, they're literally funding them. They can buy weapons from Russia, they can buy weapons from anywhere with the money that China's basically giving them.
On top of that, another interesting thing here, this is really interesting to me, is that the President of the United States said himself that some ship was seized that was carrying Chinese weapons components. Netanyahu also said that, in confirmation of that claim, that there was a ship carrying Chinese weapons components and weapons to Iran that was seized by the U.S. Navy that we know of. And back then, remember everybody, China said, oh please, let the dove fly, let the peace last, war is bad, we shouldn't be having any war, come on guys. And while they were saying that, there was a ship sailing from China filled with weapons and weapons parts to Iran. So it kind of leads me to believe that this statement is a flat-out lie. Not only that, the other thing is, folks, is that the Chinese can just ship any of their weapons if they want to get the workaround here. Instead of shipping them by sea to where a ship could be interdicted and we could actually inspect it and find weapons shipments, all they have to do, folks, is get this thing. Let me go pull it up. It's called an ISO container. Let me show it to you. This thing right here. You'll know, these are in the millions. They get one of these, packed it with weapons, or really anything they want for that matter. This thing could fit a great deal of stuff. And they put that on a train, on this thing called an intermodal well car. And then they railroad that into Russia, and then Russia transports that all the way through Russia to the Caspian Sea. And then they load that up on a ship and ship it into Iran. And that's if they didn't want to go through the effort of possibly getting caught, and if they didn't want to get caught, they could do that as a complete workaround. And at that point, there is no way for us to confirm that they're smuggling weapons into Iran, because we have really, outside the CIA, we have no way to confirm directly at that point what they're doing, because we have no way to stop it or interdict it before it gets to Iran by that transportation.
China's not worried about getting caught. Like, trust me, China's not worried about that. Even if the U.S. caught China sending weapons to Iran, the U.S. isn't going to do anything about it. The U.S. President had alluded a while back when the 31st Marines apparently went and boarded a vessel that was trying to make its way to Iran. He said that there was a nasty surprise or something like that from China on board one of the ships, and they were trying to figure out what was going on with it. But we never got the details about that. We never heard if it was weapons or it was some type of contraband or something. Obviously, the connotation was negative behind the president's post, so we assume it was probably weapons. But we never got that final confirmation. So, the U.S. didn't do anything about that. They just simply ignored it. Now they met with Xi Jinping after that apparently happened. I don't even think they have to worry about it. The third party thing's not even necessary.
Yeah, probably not. They could probably be about as brazen with it as they want, like they are with most everything else these days. Like what we're about to be getting to here in a moment, which we're working there, folks. I know, I see everybody is working on the poll right now and answering it. Don't worry, we're about to be getting to that one real soon. But before we get to that, though, we have to get to the other news that happened today. Apparently, in the midst of the meetings that were going on in the People's Hall and whatnot in Beijing, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the People's Hall is actually in the Forbidden City, and they're currently using this as the meeting area at the moment between Xi Jinping and the President of the United States. At some point when they were bringing the President of the United States into another room to have a one-on-one sit-down with Xi Jinping, the Chinese police said, no, you don't go. And then the Secret Service said, hey, watch it. Get off us, we're going in there. And then they said, no, you don't go. So then they started laying hands on each other. And then that turned into fists. And the fists started flying everywhere from what we've been able to hear. And in China...
Well, actually, there's some other details here apparently. So here's the further details. I got some extra details here for you to get this post right here. So apparently, this altercation started between U.S. Secret Service and Chinese police. Apparently, at the Temple of Heaven. Apparently, that's apparently where this clash started. The clash was over this fact. The U.S. Secret Service was trying to bring their service pistols with them because, of course, they're armed. It's armed security for the president. So they were trying to bring their firearms, which the Chinese knew they were carrying anyway. So the Chinese police said, no, you're not bringing a firearm into the Temple of Heaven. You're going to stop right there. You'll let your president go in unprotected to a large degree, or else. So then the standoff started. That's when the altercation started to kick off. It lasted for about 30 minutes, by the way, this altercation. They call it an intense standoff, but apparently it was a little bit more than that. Apparently it got physical at one point, and apparently it got pretty ugly. So sadly we don't have a video of it. I saw a lot of people asking, well, do y'all have a video of this? Because I'd love to see it. Sadly we don't. There was one individual that allegedly recorded it, but he's not released the video as of right now.
Man, I wish Werner Herzog was there, man. He'd be going, you can see the fish flying between the two groups. They are really going for it, really smacking each other. Oh, man, it'd be something else, man. But we do hear that apparently, supposedly, Brett Ratner may have been there and may have actually ended up recording some of the altercation, like the actual fists that were flying. And so, folks, when we get that footage, we're going to figure out how this went. Chinese martial arts versus fist to the face. Which one ended up winning once we get the footage? And we don't know yet. We have no clue because we haven't gotten the end result, and we also don't know who won. Probably nobody won. It was probably broken up or resolved before there was a clear winner. But it is going to be interesting to see the Chinese police and possibly Xi's Secret Service going up against the U.S. Secret Service. So we'll have to see how that all went down.
But what's up with that? It's like the Chinese know that our Secret Service carry guns. Like, that's obviously their purpose. They're there to eliminate threats to the U.S. president. So they knew they carry guns. So, I mean, what is the Chinese police doing trying to prevent our security for our president going into a place? The U.S. would never do that to, like, for example, if the Chinese individual president came over here, they would never do that. But of course, this seems like some sort of power move or something that they're trying to pull off here. Honestly, that's another bad sign of the many that's stacking up as of today.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, they're fist fighting outside of the Temple of Heaven. like the irony of that. I guess this is supposed to be like a serene, religious sort of a location for the Chinese, at least historically.
I do remember
Meanwhile,
that.
fists are flying out here on the concrete outside.
Yes, I do remember that, and we've actually talked about a few of those things. Yeah, I remember that. So someone in class that has been with us for a while, they're remembering back in the early 90s when a lot of crap was going on. I was, probably about 12 at that time. Yeah. No, it's interesting. I see why you thought of that too, because a few of the things he just mentioned. And then, the martial arts and punching him in the face thing kind of took the cake. There's like 5 good ones. Yeah, I remember that. Right, so people had been in an uproar already a bit. Some seem to not even know or be aware. Yeah, interesting. So yeah, there had been people upset that the dude that lived with us, well, he didn't really live with us, he just kind of stayed there sometimes. Yeah, so he was a Taekwondo teacher on the circle here, right by where Coney High School used to be, where Hannaford is, on the circle. I think it's an old, like a clothing store now or something. It was like what do you call that? Like a yard sale place for a little while. Consolation, whatever you call that. Consignment, thank you. I'm sorry. I made a mango coconut lemonade. It's really good. The mango coconut is from the Celsius, so it has all those added nutrients too. And 1 lemon and some water. No agave or sugar, just that. Sometimes I put a couple drops of agave. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, so someone in class was just talking about how back in the 90s, when all that crap was going on, people were pissed off about my brother and the drug trafficking as always.
What is third-hand smoke?
Yeah, people didn't like that, no. Some liked it. A lot of people liked and appreciated it. It actually, depending on where we went or where we were, who we saw, we would get treated better. Some people would give us money, food. You want our bike? No. Right, just because they knew they might get a good deal on some drugs. They'd say, I helped your sister out. Oh, it gets old, doesn't it? I know, and then as I got older, and became a teenager, I know when they saw I wasn't into those kind of drugs, not at all. I liked marijuana and drinking. Well, I did not like those kind of drugs at all. No, it made me sick. I didn't like them. And then I saw what it did to other people. Not that alcohol didn't do bad things to people too, but that made me feel good. It didn't make me feel sick. At the time, it did. I thought it did. Yeah, it was like my best friend. It helped a lot too, with my OCD symptoms and stuff like that, so to speak. I know, I think that's why people say, oh, well, if her parents had medicated her, she would have had alcohol problems. You're idiots. What were the OCD symptoms from? Like, what are you talking about? What do you even mean? You're stupid. Why did I believe the things I believed and have frickin' twitches? And think that if I left the house without doing remember my sister would get mad and she'd leave without me. I remember being like 3rd or 4th grade. I'd have to count certain things. No, for real, I thought we would die if I didn't do certain rituals just right. I think it's because of what my parents put in our heads. Yeah, I mean, they say, oh, joking around. They know better. It's sick, and it's disgusting, and it's disturbing what's been going on here over the years, and we hope the best for them, that they get the help that they need. It makes us sick. It actually makes us want to regurgitate and throw up. Right, just a lot of superstitious stuff growing up. Yeah. Now, when you look at our environments and how, if we would speak about some of those things, they would get very angry. We don't remember right. I think those were concerns for quite a while. No, that was a different person. That was my dad's drunk uncle, Nunny. Yeah, he used to sleep on the couch sometimes. I don't know his real name. It was my dad's uncle. He was a drunk guy. Called him Nunny. Yeah, that was before that. So yeah, the one that started dating my sister, I was in what, about third grade. Yeah, from third to sixth grade. She had dated him for a little while there, and then moved out, got pregnant. He went to prison, and she came back with the baby. Yeah, after she had gotten annulled from my parents, yeah. I know. What a shit show, huh? But what they wanted to bring up. Oh, it's such a long, stupid story, isn't it? Yeah, as you can see, we could really care less. We just ramble on day by day. We have different classes, and anyone's free to listen in. People will sometimes ask certain questions or highlight certain things, and they'll want us to talk about that for other people. And sometimes it's most of the things we really didn't want to talk about and would rather not. But because of all the investigations and things going on, it helps people to understand how these fucked up situations have happened. Yeah, and how marketers and people prey on how fucking stupid they are. Right, and then they just prey on people wanting to teach them lessons too. Now, when you see how that plays into how people are getting away with a lot of sick shit in some of these communities, it's not that hard. Yeah, we're concerned about them reporting on the child and animal abuse that has already been made. Our children are still in the custody of that sick fuck. I don't even like to think about the abuse that they go through and that they've already been through. We're trying to get the facts reported on. Do you have any idea how we can get that done? Adults. Mature, medicated adults. Wow. Fucked up, dude. It's sick. Really fucking sick. But yeah, anyways, so yeah, it would have been about probably fourth or fifth grade when that happened. Because that was right around the time he left and then went to prison. Right, so people were pissed off because this guy was up in his 20s. He was a Taekwondo teacher, dare officer at Coney High School. Started dating my sister, who was like 15, 16, and she'd been doing some modeling that people were upset about as well. Yeah, I mean, pretty seductive, risky modeling for... Right, and those photographers, a lot of them, it was like the Honey Boo Boo stuff. For a lot of them, it was almost like, can you believe these women, what their daughters do in front of these grown men? Right? Imagine. Right? I know, I'm telling you right now, I've been in the room with them when they go on their little setups and gigs. And a lot of them, they know that girl's not going to make it, and they feel bad for her. Maybe try to send in others to give it a companion. If it's companion worthy, right? So anyways, yeah, I mean, that had been well known for a while. And the photographers involved are actually from the Oprah show, yeah. Yeah, they put her on the Oprah show. They flashed like 1,000 pictures up of young girls, up and coming girls. Right, and that's how they got the moms to get their daughters posing so sexy in front of them. In these little tiny bikinis with oiled bodies. Not a big deal. Who cares, right? I don't care. I'm just saying what happened and what people were getting upset about. They were upset about that, and then the drug trafficking my brother was doing from the Middle East, because, yeah, people were dying. Yeah, overdosing, drug retaliation, cutting each other's brake lines, dying. Yeah, so people get upset about that. I mean, not the druggies. Druggies love it. Ones that would get upset, usually, yeah, their mothers, families get upset. I know, that one, yeah. They still do celebrations each year to remember them. And it's a reminder. Yeah, remember that one? Oh, yeah, remember when their brake lines got cut? Drug retaliation. Yeah. Gang retaliation. So fucking stupid. Nasty fucking stupid people. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it, and I never have. Sick. And then how people fucking play stupid and ignore it and protect them is fucking sick. But anyways, yeah, people are upset about that. For the modeling and then the drug trafficking. So I remember I was trying to bring up some things because I got upset because the whole fighting thing, yeah, because some of the guys at the store, because my dad used to be a boxer, Golden Glove boxer, whatever. And so they said they bet that the Taekwondo guy would take out the boxer. Oh, it was pissing my dad off, some of the stuff they said. Right. And then I remember he got mad. Somebody made a comment about his daughter looking good in the pictures. It's like, dude, he was wearing one of them on his shirt. They had t-shirts made. Other people had these shirts made and gave it to him. Like, see if he'll wear these. I bet he's dumb enough to wear these around town. Sure enough, he did. I know, she's like, 15 or 16, tiny little bikini, almost showing nipple, oiled up. It's not a big deal. I'm just saying, with people already, it's a small town out in Whitefield, Maine. Yeah, you know, where they've been doing all those fentanyl and illegal grow bus operations. Yeah, where our home was burnt down in 2006 after I was diagnosed with Lyme disease and my son was vaccine injured. I know. Fucking insane when you start putting it all together, huh? Right, so yeah, I remember the guys at the store making a comment. It pissed them off. It was like they thought the Taekwondo guy could take out my dad. Take out the boxer. Right. Yeah. And then he had pissed my mom off too, because he made a couple comments about some parenting things. Remember that? I know, it's really sad, actually, when you think about what happened then. Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, and then it was a little bit after that because, yeah, I said something. I was upset what they were saying because I didn't think he really did anything. With the stuff they were saying, they were lying and they were putting stuff into my other sister's head. I thought this is all a fucking lie. I know. They even got her writing stuff in a diary. I think they might have used that. I no, it's all a fucking lie, dude. It's made up. They're fucking nasty, stupid, drug addict people, I'm telling you. Right, so anyways, yeah, I remember being upset because I didn't think he did anything, and he was really nice. Oh, I liked him a lot. He was cool. He taught me how to break boards with my head. Well, not really. He taught me the technique and the process, the steps. Yeah, you know... I could never do it. Right, because he could do it, and then he had the styrofoam ones, so he said only I could use the styrofoam ones. Right, so I could break the styrofoam boards with my head. Don't use the real wood. Professionals only. Well, they made it look so easy. So I did try it when they had their backs turned. Just once. I only tried it once. My head stayed down for a while. It was like, I'm just gonna stay here for a second. This is one of the dumbest things I had done thus far. Yeah, no, I remember, because I remember being sad. Like, I don't think he did anything. He was a really nice guy. Yeah, taught me how to breathe through my nose. I know, interesting, huh? Oh yeah, well she had gotten annulled from my parents, and then yeah, well I had fallen down the stairs and fractured my shoulder. They said it was a ghost that pushed me. Yeah, the dumb, stupid adults that believe in that stuff. No, I'm telling you. Like, and they really would put on those kind of beliefs and stuff as kids to us. The place was haunted. Oh yeah, my mom thought my sister was talking to a spirit from California. Zachariah. It was just stuff she would make up, I think. Just for fun. I know, I mean, because there are some pretty strange occurrences that are cool to talk about. But when people seem to kind of... I know over the years others have shown concern about her being gaslit by people around her. It's like, well, duh. And see what they're doing? She's fucking stupid to it, too. Always has been. I know, they're literally dealing in drugs from the Middle East. She plays fucking stupid to it all. The fucking boat they're using to go sea urchin diving is in our driveway, okay? They're using our place as a fucking pit stop on their way to Camden. Okay, Whitefield is right. If you see, you can go this way out to Rockland, Camden. It's right, and so he was going back and forth. He had to Massachusetts because we have different mothers, right? Right. So, and when you look at who his mother is, and the connections there, and then people were always coming around asking me who killed Kennedy, because my mom had these stories about how Dad worked for JFK's not worked for, but has a kid. Some of the security guys from the Kennedy security had him going back and forth to the races when he was a kid. Well, Dad says it was kind of true, he said. He says he remembers going with him. And they'd have him collect the change under the bleachers. People would drop their change. And that's what he would do for the day while they played the races. Why would they want to bring a kid with them? Just to collect the change? Yeah, Dad got upset. He said he could collect it a lot. He had to put it in the trunk. He was filling up his pockets. He'd bring it over. Oh, he said the bastards took most of it. I know. So just, as a kid, growing up, people playing fucking stupid. And you got these Oprah photographers getting these stupid fucking rural moms who believe in ghosts and aliens. And I know they do, because Mom had seen Steven Spielberg on a boat going out to Cabbage Island. And I said, did you tell him you saw a spaceship? She's like, yes, of course I did. I know, remember the time? And the way, if you go back, when you see the series of events, one of my older sisters, the same one who would soon start dating the DARE officer who got arrested for child molestation and went to prison for 10 years when he didn't do anything. And I thought the Oprah photographers and others involved with some of the things had done some worser things to younger children. There was some other things going on, not to mention, you have a lot of drug addicts in the community too, right? You're dealing with different things, yeah. It's pretty bad. If you actually go back, it's incredible, huh? Tell me a story.
Kevin, come on over here and tell him what time it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice, Kevin.
Yeah, I was just reading something.
Alright, now get out of here. I got this feeling inside. Can't find no balance in my mind. I must be missing the point. I need a coffee and a
But yeah, for people to get that, some of those photographers going around, they were making jokes about getting the stupid rural mothers. I know that, and then the mothers want to get pissed off at me as though I'm talking bad about them and offending them. It's like, dude, that's just what fucking happened. If you're offended by it and you want to take that out on me and allow these punks to fuck my kids to teach me a lesson, you're fucked. You are fucked. Madame. What does this all mean? Is way back in September, Shiny had a doobie. Yeah, and look at the one that's right in cahoots with him. Lying fucking slut. Enough innocent people have died and been put in prison because of these lying, sick fucks.
So take heed, my children, cause this story's cautionary. Yeah, I got this feeling inside. Can't find no balance in my mind. I must be missing the point. I need a coffee and a joint. I got this feeling inside. Can't find no balance in my mind. I must be missing the point. I need a coffee and a coffee in the joint, coffee in the joint. What? Coffee in the joint, coffee in the joint. Coffee in the joint, coffee in the joint.
Right, and so right after that time frame, hold on, yeah, I know you wanted me to mention that. Someone was, yeah, they're all going off about, yeah, how true that is. This is how they were going around getting pictures of all those young teenage girls, the stupid rural moms. Can you believe how they're letting their daughters pose? Right, because they knew they wanted to get them on the Oprah show. They had a chance, right? Honey Boo Boo came out not too long after that, huh? We got John Benoit Ramsey, Honey Boo Boo. Think about it. I need her coffee in it. But yeah, so that would have been, that was before she had started dating the Dare Officer Taekwondo dude that got put in prison for what? I know, when you actually look into it, before that, she was dating that Chinese foreign exchange student. First time I ever saw a real Lamborghini. It was bright red. First time I ever saw a frickin' cell phone. It was a car cell phone. He had in his Lamborghini. What kind of foreign exchange student is this? I was only like, what, 11 or 12? 10 maybe? Yeah, 9 or 10. I knew better. I know, I can remember waiting for the punchline. And then when he said his name was Yuichi, Yuichi, this is definitely a joke. You witch. You witchy. You a witchy. Oh, it's so funny to me. A red Lamborghini. You witchy. That's fucking classic. This is so hilarious. Nobody else seemed to get it. I thought he was kidding about his name. I thought it was a joke. But that was really his name. It's like, did I just offend you? Laughing at your name.
I am everything that I said I am. Keep my shit tight, man. Motherfucking Hoover Band. And I ain't cracking any time, so my mind satisfied to his classroom. So that I have no shop as a hop over crash like a monsoon. Style like a costume, I'm constantly awesome. Voice fresh as spring, and my beats got the blossom. Caution, get out to from the mouth shit.
Yeah, I remember too telling my mama and Pepe about the cell phone. Yeah, because we went to visit Mame and Pepe. She didn't believe me that I saw a cell phone. She didn't think they would ever exist. So, Mame, I saw one. It's not just in the movies. Oh, ben musique. Ben non. Then she died of cancer. I'm like an avalanche.
I get stupid when I want to, Rain Man. I keep it flowing, man. I do the rain dance.
Man, everybody loves to call me Rain Man.
I'm hippie like a hacky sack, smoother than a Cadillac. Even she needed Nettie back. Yeah, I lost my shit, but original, I got that passion back. Like the side my temper trap, I'm laughing at your pussy cat. I ain't never stopping till the top is what I'm looking at. We're never gonna lay down, we ain't going nowhere. You can come and give a try. I promise I'm blood and thicker than water, like movies never say die. Oh, like Goonies never say oh. Like Goonies never say die. Okay. Okay, listen up, kiddos. I'm a shark, you're a minnow. Balls on your chin, call your bitch Jay Leno. Don't go swimming, cause your shit sounds menstrual. We in here to play like Dr. Dre, South Central. Spit barbiturates to make you move your tits and shit. To have your body moving, have your hips throwing fits. Willie sitting high, just as high the time is 9 now. Throw my DeLorean, Marty McFly. Yeah, anybody home, 2 spliffs to the dome. It's a headshot, dreadnought, noobs get home. Yeah, I fucking said it was so last year. I got a pack full of gear and a trunk full of beer. Never gonna lay down, we ain't going nowhere. You can come and give a try. Our bond is our blood and thicker than water. Like movies never say die. We're never gonna lay down, we ain't going nowhere. You can come and give a try. Our bond is our blood and thicker than water. Like movies never say die. Oh, like Goonies never say oh, like Goonies never say die.
Rich, zesty herb fresh snacks go anywhere. Take Zesty.
Side of the place, and that's something else right there. But moving us on out of that, a little bit of news in Beijing, we then were able to hear this, and this is the real interesting one. Today, Xi Jinping stated that the United States is a declining nation. And this is something that has been really getting a lot of people interested in the whole deal that's going on over there right now. And Matthew, do you have the exact name off the top of your head for what China said specifically? There's a specific term.
So it's, I might mispronounce this, by the way, because I'm not totally familiar with the old Greek theories and stuff like that, but it's the Thucydides trap, I believe is how it's said, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the way you say it, I think.
I think it's the Thucydides trap or something like that. I actually pulled up the pronunciation of it beforehand, and I was trying to just even remember the word to even try and get that out. But the Thucydides trap, which is this sort of a philosophical term from antiquity in Greece, is the idea that a well-seated and unchallenged superpower, for the larger part, is challenged and then eventually defeated by an uprising upstart, which would be the Communist Chinese. Xi Jinping stated that the modern situation is a Thucydides trap, and that largely insinuates that the Chinese are a rising upstart nation that will defeat and overthrow the U.S.'s position as the dominant global superpower. That's what was stated directly. Now, I do want to make it incredibly clear before we get into this, that this was something said, because this was directly addressed by the president. We're about to get into how he addressed it, which was really a treat. But what the statement is, by the larger part, because I want to make it incredibly clear, folks, that this has nothing to do with the glorious Orange One or Sleepy Joe or anything like that. This is stating that the United States as a nation state is in decline. That's largely what it's saying, and that China is going to usurp us and overthrow us at some point as the global superpower. There was no domestic political play had in that statement. It was stated as it was. The United States at large, and everybody in it, is in a declining nation, and China is the rising one that is rising from the ashes like a phoenix and is going to be running us to the ground. Now, the president had a completely different interpretation of this one, and we'll just read it right here. When President Xi very elegantly referred to the United States as a perhaps declining nation, which I don't really think you can very elegantly insult the United States, I've never heard of that one, he was referring to the tremendous damage we suffered during the 4 years of Sleepy Joe and the prior administration. And on that score, he was 100% correct. Our country suffered immeasurably with all the other domestic political points that were brought up right there. President Xi was not referring to the incredible rise that the United States has displayed to the world during the 16 spectacular months of me, which includes the all-time high stock markets and 401ks, military victory and thriving relationship in Venezuela, the decimation of Iran to be continued, strongest military on earth by far, economic powerhouse again, with a record $18 trillion being invested in the United States by others, best U.S. job market in history, with more people working in the United States right now than ever before, ending another domestic political point, and so many other things that would be impossible to readily list. In fact, President Xi congratulated me personally so many tremendous successes. I'm G's little boy. 2 years ago, we were in fact a nation in decline. On that, I fully agree with President G. But now the United States is the hottest nation anywhere in the world. And hopefully our relationship with China will be stronger than ever before.
Man, honestly, I hate to say it, but that is a cope statement right there, to say the least. Did Xi clarify this, by the way? This sounds like the president's interpretation of an insult from Xi Jinping. That's what it sounds like. I didn't hear Xi Jinping clarify that statement. So all this you're reading and hearing right here is what the president thinks was in Xi Jinping's head, which was obviously not the case. I mean, you can't, like you were saying earlier, you can't elegantly refer to the United States as a declining nation. There's no such thing. That's a blatant insult to the United States right in front of our faces. Literally over there on their home turf. So, I mean, this is pretty rough right here. Honestly, if I was the president, I would have gotten on the plane and left the moment that statement was made.
You know, I gotta say, folks, this is interesting because the statement that's being addressed here is that Xi Jinping said that America and China are currently in the Thucydides trap. That's what brought all of this on. Now, I gotta say, folks, Thucydides, when he was around for this entire concept philosophically to be made, there wasn't anything such as the Republican Party or the Democratic Party 2,700 years ago in ancient Greece. So it's really hard to go, oh yes, the Thucydides trap, which obviously refers to the Democratic Party of the United States of America, or the Republican Party of the United States of America. It's specifically mentioning the nation itself and everything encompassing it. It has nothing to do with domestic politics. I also got to say, folks, that just my personal opinion, I think that the patriotism of a president has to be questioned when you're more than willing to agree with a legitimate enemy of the state to bash a domestic political party. Because to be entirely honest with y'all folks, regardless of who in the world's in charge, if a foreign country insults whoever is the president of the United States or insults the United States at large or any political party within it, that's fighting words in my opinion. No other foreign country has any room to diss on anybody in America regardless of their political beliefs, whether they're from the left or the right or in charge or not, or they're going to be in charge or they're retired. That's something that is reserved for Americans only. Americans can criticize.
I absolutely agree with that. Why? We don't diss on anyone. No, we just speak the truth. Yeah, we have sick motherfuckers here that have fucked and tortured little kids that make child and animal pornography and abuse videos that feed it out to activist groups, and a lot of people are really fucking sick. And with the shit they've been doing and the fraud, yeah, when I'm speaking to the sick motherfuckers abusing kids and the dumb fucks protecting them, if you think that's being mean or disrespectful or anything along those lines, fuck you. You're a fucking idiot, and that's part of the problem and how they keep getting away with it. It's called wrath. Don't take it personally or try to attach it to anybody, which most people do. It's an evil trait to have. Well, hopefully the proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine will do what they can to report the facts. It's amazing how many people within the news outlets whose responsibility it is to report the facts and the truth have blackballed and whitewashed so much of our society with their fucking nasty, gross lies, nasty fucking lifestyles. If you think that's insulting, I don't know, take a look at your lifestyles. Ask yourselves why I'm saying that. It's my fucking opinion, and you got yours. And the shit you have said about others, yeah, you don't say it in the public sphere. That's the difference between you and me. Is I'll fucking say it on the public airwaves, no problem. If you haven't noticed, I'm very respectful in public spaces. I'm not going to yell at you and tell you you're a stupid piece of shit. There's no need of it. There really isn't. This is really just for entertainment purposes and education for a lot of people listening, because we have a lot of listeners, especially since 2010 when they signed off on that stuff. Yeah, and I mean, just the parties that have ensued, I mean, it's really given them something to do, huh? Thank goodness we have a lot of listeners, so they can really get a good idea and perspective as to how sick and demented a lot of these people are, and what's going on here, and how that abuse gets fed out to the feeders, chasers, investigators, a lot of outlets, really. Potential watchers, yeah, because that feeds into the chasing business. I know, and if there's not enough happening already, we have funded a lot of different of those forces to have grown men pose like 13-year-olds and then go around to the schools messaging them, trying to see if they can get them to bite at going to meet a 13-year-old. Some of them set up a meeting. Okay, I'll meet you somewhere. And then they go arrest the teacher. There's another business channel. It helps connect dots, though. It really does. I mean, because then you can look into different things, I guess. It helps to show. I don't know. I mean, sometimes they uncover other things, too, right? And now you need to be reassigned. I know you were doing that sometimes when you're driving up the road. You change plans. Something happens. You gotta make an extra stop. Eliminate one. Cheers. Right, so when you have people who are talking to you from the great beyond that are already dead, lucky to have survived. When you look at the cases we're speaking out on and the connections to a lot of the major things people have been talking about and profiting from. Imagine how detrimental and traumatizing that is. Yeah, a lot of good people that are at this level of awareness over the years have gotten taken out, killed, accidents, committed suicide. We talk about it every day. What's it going to take to get people to report the facts and stop playing their little fucking chasing and feeding games? Waiting for somebody to snap. Trying to keep my head right. I don't need no bullshit. Keep it from my high side. Staring at these red lights. Good morning. I don't need no bullshit. Keep it from my high side. You cannot stop me, I'm the vital one. Let me get lost in my delirium. You too. See, now, once you get it and you're there, now you are the vital one. Now you are. See, you're all the vital one. You are the world. You are the one that'll make a brighter day. You are the sun, little darling. I hope so. That was a bit dry, hold on. Staring at these red lights, trying to keep my head right. I don't need no bullshit. Keep it from my high side.